WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I have a Kavalan Solist Port Cask. Mwah, mwah, mwah. All right, so Whiskybase number 226823. We do know the cask number, which is 013, which means that it was actually distilled in the year 2013. It's 01309, September 03, which means the 3rd of September, and then 014A. I'm not really sure what the 014A means. Now, on the back of the bottle, it actually says here, bottled on the 19th of July, 2022. All right, so it's just shy of 9 years. So it's 8.5 years. Natural color, people. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Number of bottles, 182. I have bottled 170. Now, if you go into Whiskybase and you type in Kavalan Solist Port Cask, you get a total of, or I got a total of, 309 barrels they've actually bottled up by now. Now, if I actually just rank them according to the years, so the year's 2022, the ones that they bottled here, we have the scores here. We have an 89, we have an 87, we have a 91, we have a 92, we have an 89, and we have an 88.5%. Turn it around so you can see the beauty of this. I think Kavalan, with their Solist, in particular their Vino Barriques, with their sherries, with their ports, are absolutely amazing. And the value for money for that amazingness is not bad, actually. I paid 115 euros for this, and I shared it, and I'm happy that I own 5 CLs. Now, what am I going to compare it to? I'm going to actually compare it to something I have here from Scotland. So this is from Scotch Universe. That is from the Whiskey Druid Michael Rick. And this is the Monoceros, number 2. And it is actually a Highland single malt Scotch, Knockdhu, Anoch. And it's from 2012 to 2022, so it's 10 years of age. First fill, Ruby Port wine casks. And we're at 57.5. All right, so here we're at 57.8. So we're very, very close. 115, 79 euros, which I think is a great thing. So now I have one more bottle I'm going to pull out. Well, I have a sample, what's left. I actually gave the bottle here to a museum, a whiskey museum, so they can have that. And this is from Dingle Distillery. This is the Port Single Cask for Kirsch in Germany. We have now 59.6%, Whiskybase 224407, and this was distilled 2014, and it was bottled 2022. So this is our youngest candidate here. This was 2013, this is 2014, and this was 2012. All right, so 12, 13, 14. So is it fair? I'm not sure. This is 155 euros, this is 115, and this is 79. So whoever said Scotch whiskey is expensive, well, other countries are sometimes even more expensive. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to smell, I'm going to taste, I'm going to smell, I'm going to taste, I'm going to smell, I'm going to taste. And then I'm going to rank these because I think all 3 of these are very, very interesting. I personally love port. All right, I drink whiskey in front of the camera. Outside of the camera, I don't drink much whiskey. It's evaluation, it's work, it's a lot of analytics and so on, or analysis, and so I'm not really anymore that whiskey enjoyer. But I love a good port. And so in the evening, I'll sit in front of the TV with my wife, with port, some cheese, some crackers, and just enjoy life. All right, so many of you do that with whiskey. I used to. Now it's become more of a professional type of thing. And so in order just to turn off the job modus, it's then therefore more of a port moment. And so whiskeys fully matured in port is somewhat of an interest to me. All right, on the nose. If you would have said, I think this is actually, I feel like it's European oak. I get a chocolatey note in there that I usually only get from European oak. I really do love the dark, rich cherry and strawberry moment. There's a vanilla in here. There's a spice in here. It's caramel. It's thick. It's rich. It's delicious. All right. Now, the Distillery Kavalan was founded 2006. 2016, they actually did an expansion of the distillery and celebrated at the same time their 10th year anniversary. So we're going on the 20th year anniversary really soon in the next 3 years. Dr. Jim Swan helped them do everything and so on. In Kavalan, they have an average angel share of up to over 10% sometimes. They're working on bringing that down. And they have 11 pairs of pot stills. Jason, I always forget the sizes. So I'm reading and I'm quoting this book here. So their wash still has 12,000 liter capacity of all 11, and that's a wash still, and the spirit still. All 11 of those have 7,000 liters capacity. So they have a 60 to 72 hour fermentation. They have five mash tuns, and they have 40, I'm going to repeat that, 40 stainless steel washbacks. So that's not, wow, that's a wow for me, all right? And the thing that really, really impressed me the most is over 1 million people visit the Kavalan Distillery every year. I, just off the top of my head, do not think there's a single distillery in Scotland that has 1 million visitors every year. All right. If I'm wrong, please write it down in the chat. Blair Ethel used to be #1, and then we would have maybe Macallan or Glenfarclas or other things as well. But wow, 1 million visitors a year. That's a lot for one distillery. I think Buffalo Trace alone had 500,000 2022. Shows just the size of the visitor centers and the people going there. All right, good. So love the nose, love this whiskey. I thoroughly enjoy Kavalan Solist. Madeira is something, and rum is something that's usually only available at the distillery. We in Germany received the Madeira single cask. I had that. It was not cheap. This was 115. The Madeira was double that price. I paid 130, 35, 39 for that. 239, I'm sorry. And so, that's where it starts to hurt. I have a threshold. Anything above 100, it's like, okay. Anything above 200, it's not worth it anymore. 79 euros. Is this worth it? All right. Now, the interesting thing here, I'm just going to push that over here. Push this over here, which will make my life easier. I have not yet ripe strawberries with a little bit of a sour note going on there. All right, sour strawberries with a nice vanilla moment, vanilla sauce, vanilla pudding, vanilla, and those strawberries and a little bit of acidity. Alcohol, not a hint. Very, very nicely done. And then the most expensive of the three are Dingle. This is Dingle. The Hawaiian Punch moment. I like Dingle. Now, I really liked the sherry single cask that we got in Germany at the beginning. The second single barrel that we got, the port, I love the sherry. This is good. This is good stuff. This is like a B- type of moment. But the sherry was like an A moment. It's like, oh yeah. By the way, A- for this big, bad bottle of whiskey over here. I get Hawaiian Punch. I get a little bit of vanilla. Of the three, this is the most toned down of the aromas that pop out of the glass. So if I were to rank these according to what I liked, my smell, 1, 2, 3. All right, so let's try this one. I know what I'm going to expect, and I'm just so looking for it. This is anticipation. This is so good. Mm. Mm. I don't want to swallow. Breathe in. Ah. Let that air, the oxygen, hit the alcohol and just increase the flavor profile. They are making juice of the gods at Kavalan sometimes. I really, really, really like this. Um, I gave this in my German video a A minus to an A. I'm going to stick with the A. This is so delicious. I just thoroughly, thoroughly, thoroughly enjoy this. Value for money, 115. Now, many people will say, Jason, but you can get all this other stuff for 115. But have I ever given a whiskey with an A rating that had 115 euros price tag? I don't really think so. So I'm going to give this a C plus as a value for money. Um, I don't know what it costs in your country. I do not know what you're going to pay for a Kavalan Solist Port Cask. I'm sure it's going to probably be more than what I'm paying. Take a look at the Redbreast 21 years of age. Compare that price to this. If the Kavalan is cheaper, buy this. I do not say that lightly. I love my Redbreast 21. But I do know that many markets, America especially, have horrendous prices for the 21-year-old Redbreast. And from the flavor development, from the flavor flavor volume. I'm not saying profile, I'm just saying the amount of flavor you're getting. The long-lasting aftertaste that just echoes and echoes and echoes. This is hard to beat. Now, for those of you out there that like their bourbon matured single malts and they like to have the character of the distillery to come through, this is wrong for you. This is not something you should even consider. This is something which is a magnificent, cohesive moment of oak, port, distillate, and goodness all bunched together. And so, wonderful, 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 wonderful product. All right, so A, B plus, C plus for value for money, which I do not say lightly as a 115 euro bottle here. Now this is not exactly half, but this is 79. So there's that sourness that I do not get at all here. Mm-hmm. Now, Scotch Universe is made by the whiskey druid Michael, and he does not always have the names of the permission to use the names of the distillery. So this is a no-name whiskey, and so he used coordinates. If you look at the coordinate here, this is going to be 119 degrees, and the U is unpeated, the 7.1, and the 1894.1. So this is always 1894 should be the founding year of the distillery. People online say this has to be a Noctu, but my resources do not say that it is actually from 1894. I have three dates for the founding year of Noctu, and none of them are 1894. Well, all right, we'll see. It's got a nice long finish. Now, this is a first fill ruby port wine cask, which for me is a seasoned cask, which is just fine. But it gets the light forest strawberries. It's got a little bit of vanilla going on. It doesn't have that dark, deep, rich flavor profile of the dark chocolate, of the strawberries that I get here. I get a little bit more of a vanilla sauce with very tiny forest strawberries that are sweet, but still a tad bit tart. All right, so nice. Not bad for 80 euros in cask strength and 10 years of age. But if I were to put a couple more, so 80, 20, 35 euros more on top, is that worth it? Yes, definitely. And last but not least, our dingle here. Cheers. Mm-hmm. 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 The very interesting thing comparing the three of these is how much wood is actually in this. Now this is chocolate and wood. This is sawdust and wood. The wood, the oakiness, that chewing on a popsicle stick moment remains the longest here. This has more of a raspberry, more of a dark cherry moment than a strawberry moment going on here. It's very nice. Out of 1, 2, and 3, I like this better than this. Is it worth 155? No. Is it maybe worth 80 like this, 90? That's what I would expect. But it has one of the longer finishes. This was long, but this is longer. This was the longest. And so it's very, very interesting how the different port casks influence the different whiskeys and how the distillate influences the port cask and how what we get in the bottle at cask strength is so different from the different places you get it. This was for me a joy to do. This is going to be a B minus minus C plus plus. This I think I actually gave also a C minus if I remember correctly on my interview, because on my review the sherry cask I think I gave an A minus. I really like that, but if I were to be honest, this is better than that sherry cask from Dingle. Wow, I'm spoiled for choice today. This is good stuff. WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany. First question of the day: what is your favorite Kavalan product? Is it a Solist? And if so, is it the Madeira? Is it the rum, which are actually distillery onlys? We got a Madeira over here once. Is it the sherry? Is it the Vino Barrique? Is it the port that I love as well? There's a peated, there's a bourbon cask. If I'm going to go for something Kavalan, I'm going to get the cask maturation influence. I really like that. And the second thing is, imagine you had 150 euros, dollars, pounds, and you wanted to buy a cask strength, full maturation port single malt whiskey. Which one? I don't think there's very much out there. All right, I know from Ireland there was a Lichtburg that was from Rolf Kasper here in Germany. Germany exclusive bottling from Irish whiskey, 18 so years old in port. That was delicious. It was around 109, 112, something like that, euros. And then I'm thinking, I don't know any other port cask matured, cask strength, single barrel bottlings. Doesn't have to be single barrel, but often I think it would be. All right, thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing, and telling others. See you real soon. Bye-bye.